The best of track and field is on ESPN today. It's the Natty, the NCAA Track and Field Championships from the Birmingham CrossPlex in Birmingham, Alabama, hosting this meet for the second time in its history. What a great championship this will be. Take a look at the Division I indoor rankings. Arkansas Razorbacks, they have been #1 all year long. Trailing them, USC, they've been #2 all year except for 1 week. That's the battle at the top, to be sure. The points table, well, you got to score points. That's how you make it. 1, 2, and 3 are the big points. 10 for first, 8 for second, 6 for third. Those are the ones that put you in it, but it's those points 4 through 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 that can win it for you. It will be a terrific championship. We will start with the women's mile, and to call it, it is Dwight Stones and Jill Montgomery.
All right, John, this is our first event on the track today. It's finals day at the NCAA. Collegiate record held by Jenny Behringer, now Jenny Simpson. Leah O'Connor, the meet record, and Danae Rivers of Penn State for the best time in the country this year. This is Alexis Fuller of Boise State.
She won this event 2 years ago. She ran the anchor on the distance medley relay last night. She has had a lot of work in the last 24 hours, but she is coming back from 2017.
And right next to her, Hannah Meyer of Michigan.
Hannah Meyer is a 6-year, yes, 6-year, 24-year-old senior. She had a medical redshirt in 15 and 16. She had the fastest time in the country coming into these championships, a 4:32.46 that she won wire to wire at the Big Ten.
There are 11 athletes in this final because Millie Palladino of Providence was advanced from the prelim because of a crash and fall, and there was a protest, and so she is in it. So we have 11 instead of the normal 10.
We saw a lot of that last night. There was a lot of pushing and shoving in a lot of these prelim races. Every athlete here is an elite athlete in their field, and man, when they get on the track, they start to jump, push, elbow for those positions.
And it's so typical for championship races to go tactical, and they bunch up and they just don't give each other enough room to run, which is happening right now.
I'm glad you brought up tactics, because the coaches that I have talked to, Lance Harder, athletes that I have talked to, Hannah Meyer, when I ask tactically, what do you want to do in this race? Every time they tell us, I don't know. You just don't have a tactic for the race, because you've got to go out and see what the other runners are doing. I know for the Arkansas women right now, Lauren Gregory and Karissa Nelson. Karissa Nelson is sitting second right now in the maroon. They are going to just respect the race strategy of the others and let it be dictated whether it goes out slow, whether it goes out fast, and they're just going to react to what this pack does in the beginning.
69.8 for the first 440 yards. Remember, this is a mile race, not a 1,500-meter race. Sarah Edwards of Virginia Tech in the lead, followed very closely by Karissa Nelson of Arkansas, one of 2 Razorbacks in this final. This is where they expect to start scoring big points. They've got a lot of points in the field event as well as in the field events as well as on the track.
If you are looking for some sort of tactic in this mile, you want to have as even splits possible through the first half to the 3/4 mark of this race. That way you are not expending too much energy. Listen, it's more difficult to go out and run 68 and then drop to 71 and come back. If you run even 70s, then you don't lose that much momentum. And that's what these women are doing right now. Everybody is close together.
The tall athlete from Samford is Karissa Nelson. She trains on this track all the time, and that's about where she was yesterday during her prelim. And outside of her, running mostly in lane 2, that is Lauren Gregory, the freshman from Arkansas.
And I need to correct something. I misspoke at the very beginning when we identified Alexis Fuller. It was Karissa Nelson who won this event 2 years ago in 2017. She won. She ran the anchor on the DMR last night. But in 2018, she broke her foot that cost her her 2018 season. And now she's back with a vengeance. Her time of 4:34, which was her season best coming into this, was better than the time that she had when she won it in 2017. She is the tall runner in the orange blue trunks out in the lane 2 right now, blonde hair.
And this pace is right in her wheelhouse. Nice and slow. She has a vicious kick. We saw it yesterday when she qualified easily. This is a very tightly bunched group. My concern is that we will have some of the same problems that we had yesterday. As you can see now, they just started to ramp it up on this backstretch.
And speaking of ramping it up, that is the gradual increase that the tactical side of this mile wants to see. I explained a little bit ago that you don't want to come out too fast and then drop 2 seconds slower and have them fight that momentum to come back. You want a gradual increase from the halfway mark to the third three-quarter mark of this race, and then it's going to be whoever has the best kick.
That second 440 yards was 73.5. They really slowed it down. They've picked it up a little bit here to 71.2. But with less than 440 yards remaining, this is where the racing actually begins. There's a move made by Julia Rizk of Ohio State from the outside and into the lead.
Watch Lauren Gregory from Arkansas, all maroon blonde hair, and also keep your eyes on Karissa Nelson of Sanford. This is her home track. She runs on this track all the time. Sanford's about 20 minutes from here. She knows this track very well.
There's the bell. It's Rizk. It is Nelson and Villion. And there goes Nelson. And just about the way she did it yesterday. And does she have enough of a head of steam? Rizk looks like she has another gear. Nelson trying to hold her off. No, it is Rizk. A little bit of contact there. It breaks her stride. Villion trying to hang on to third. I think she got dipped for fourth, maybe fifth. And Lauren Gregory will not score for Arkansas, so that is a little bit of a blow to their team title hopes. But Julia Rizk, the senior from Ohio State, was very patient and ran a smart last 2 laps.
Absolutely. I was just going to say that. Julia Rizk on this pass, when Nelson passed her on that backstretch, she didn't panic. You don't want to pass right here on this last curve. Rizk bided her time, waited to come right off the end of that curve, and then this is where you pass in any kind of a distance races on these straights, and she just had another gear. Rizk gets the win.
So 10 points for the Buckeyes in the very first event. Julia Rizk, 4:37.63. Karissa Nelson did hang on even after that stumble and that bump in that final 30 meters. And Millie Palladino, who got advanced into this final, comes up third. The champion is downstairs with John.
All right, it seems like you ran, Julia Rizk, you ran 6 laps to set up the last 2. I want you to take me through the last 2.
I knew I had to stick on for the critical zone, like my coach said. And so I know my strength is in those last 400. I know I can kick, and this is what I wanted. This is what I've been working for 3 months. And oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening.
Right, you told me, I heard you muttering, it's amazing, did this really happen? Why the shock? I
don't know, I try to go into races without expectations and just race my plan and just be like, I can stick with all these girls. We have no idea how it's gonna end, but I gotta be there at the end to race them to the finish, because if you put yourself out of it, you're out, you lose. So I had no idea how I was gonna finish, but I'm so happy. And all of these girls out here are amazing competitors. They did not make it easy for me. So, I mean, this is indoor nationals. It's the best of the best competing here. And I mean, I couldn't have asked for better competitors than I can here.
Congratulations to you, OH.
I know.
There you go, first champ. The women's mile is in the books now. Many more NCAA championship finals to come. We're just getting started at the Birmingham CrossPlex.